Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. It's Tuesday and we're starting another weekly vlog. Getting into the routine with this, loving it. It isn't pouring with rain outside, which is a win. So hopefully we can go outside for a bit today. The plan today is get some work done this morning. I'm starting up a new routine and that's what I'm going to focus on I think this week, is like building that routine, because it's something that has given me so much strength and like positive days recently, is like actually having a routine and sticking to it. Because I don't know, I feel like I've obviously mentioned this lots of times, but you know when you just feel like you're in that groove and you're in that rhythm and it just feels so good. So I want to share some of those routines with you this week and what's been helping me. Like, I'm going to the gym so much more because I've stuck to a routine. I'm using the app Copilot and it's making me stick to my routine. I'm going 4 days a week, so Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm gonna try having a little whiz at the Peloton on Wednesday because I'm not really doing enough cardio, I don't think. And the motivation for that is kind of going back to my roots of what I know I enjoy. There's often a temptation within us to try new things. You see stuff on the internet, you hear things from friends, and you think, oh, I should give that a go. And that is great, and sometimes it can lead to something, but I do think that there is merit to going back to what you know. And if there was a sport you loved as a child, if there was a habit that you once had when it comes to exercise, go back to that and don't question it. I do that too much where I'm like, oh, I should try this new thing, I should give this one a go, uproot everything and start again. And I know that I love strength training and I've done it for years, and trends will come and go, you know, Pilates and calisthenics and CrossFit. There's always trends when it comes to exercise. If you found something that you enjoy and you can stick to it, then just keep doing it. I do love all those other sorts of things, and I was saying in another vlog that I want to go back to doing yoga and Pilates again, which I definitely will. But yeah, I'm really in the routine of it. I'm going to go to the gym now. I'm going to have my coffee. This morning I've been on my computer. I've realised that because I'm self-employed, I don't have to go to the gym at peak hours, which is before 9. I can wait until it's like 25 to 9 now, do some work, get those like niggling things off my mind. So I've done a bit of stuff on the website, I've done a few emails, I've emptied my memory cards, I've put some stuff on the drive to back things up, like just like niggling things, emptying my computer a bit, that I end up not doing because during the day I'm like focusing on filming or editing, and then those kind of admin-y email bits and pieces just get put to the side. This has gone all fluffy because I've washed it. Waking up with sunrise, getting some work done first thing, doing my 5-minute journal. My 5-minute journal is so lovely as a reminder. I find it like really helpful, especially when I'm having a bad day, because if you're having a bad day, you can feel all consumed by the bad stuff. If you're feeling depressed, if something bad happened that day, it's so human nature and so easy for us to focus on that, and it can consume you, it can flood you. So having that little moment in the morning and in the evening where you look and you think, do you know what, actually hearing the birdsong this morning really did make me smile and made me so happy. Or having that moment where I was sat on the sofa and I was just watching my favourite TV show, really felt so relaxing and comforting, and I really value that in my day. Or this morning I wrote about how the sunrise was so beautiful. I wish I'd got a video of it, but it was so stunning, and it made me just appreciate how lucky I am to live here. So despite the woes in your life, which are very, you know, all-consuming sometimes, to remember the things that actually are beautiful and are lovely in your life can offer that balance. It's not about erasing the negative or getting rid of those feelings, because I think that can have a negative impact too. If you try and ignore your feelings for the sake of just thinking positively, I don't think that that's necessarily going to help you out. But I think it's being aware that there's a balance to not let those negative feelings flood everything in your life, which I have a tendency to do. I think that's a symptom of maybe anxiety or maybe my personality, I don't know. So it really has helped. I'll leave a link to it. It's just called the 5-minute journal, and because I was journaling before, but I was writing pages on pages, and I actually sometimes found that a bit too much, because that would kind of allow that flooding feeling of like kind of writing down. It helped in that it got out all of those negative emotions, but sometimes it meant I was just sitting there just like really like immersing myself in that wallowing kind of like feeling of like, oh, this stuff sucks and this was so annoying and I feel so hurt by this and this is really difficult. It is good, but I don't know that it was good for me personally every day to try and to do that. I don't know. I'm rambling. We've just started a video and I'm rambling, but let's get to the gym, start the routines off well, and I'll maybe go into more in depth throughout the week with my routines. But gym is a really important one. Find that routine in exercise and movement, going for a walk, Pilates, doing things at home. I'm just trying to figure out the time of day that works for me. I do think that this time of day works for me because it means I've had an hour of work before the day begins, and it does make me feel relaxed. I can go to the gym, come home, go in the office, and then get started. So let's go. Goodness me, it's freezing. 4 degrees. I haven't seen that in a while. Gosh, it's the days when it's like super sunny and clear that it gets so cold. It's been like flooding storms in the UK recently, and now that rain has gone away, it's dropped. The temperature has seriously dropped. Oh my gosh, whack this heating up. Yes, please. Radio on. I'm been listening to the radio more. Let's go. Oh yeah, good tune. Gym done. That was a really hard workout. I think it's because I had a terrible night's sleep. Maybe it's because of going back to the gym and doing a lot more in the gym. When I get into bed and I can't get comfortable and I keep on waking up uncomfortable. And I think it's because my body aches, because yesterday I did a long walk and a workout, and there's definitely a transition period when you start to exercise more that your body just is like, whoa, this is like intense. So you have to make sure you have rest days, you make sure you take it easy and you eat enough and you have enough protein. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on, because that's my body's way of saying you're tired. Because yeah, I just had an awful night's sleep, so that workout was quite hard, but it was quite good. It was a lower body workout, and Jill, my personal trainer on Copilot, had like created a new workout. That's why I love it. I have worked with Copilot in the past and I do get the service gifted, but I am a massive fan and advocate. I have tried so many different workout programs, I have used different apps, and this is genuinely, hand on heart, honest recommendation. I'd say this to a friend, the best I've ever used, because you actually have a personal trainer. So Jill is a real person and I can speak to her daily, message her, she sends me motivational messages, she gives me feedback, I can tell her what I'm liking, what I'm not liking, if I want to up the weights, if I want to change things. It's so personalised. It's just as personalised as if you had a personal trainer in the gym, but in a way it's almost better, because when I used to have personal training, I'd have to pay for one session a week and then all my other sessions was by myself. So this means that every single session I have her to like talk to, and it means I can really get in the zone and just have my headphones in. She even, like, when you're doing it, it'll be like, this is going to be a PR, you can do this, and it's like having someone there with you. So like I was really feeling like, oh, I can't do this, and then she was like, this is a PR, you can do it, and I was like, yes I can. So yeah, my glutes are definitely on fire and I feel very exhausted. Today Alex is definitely walking Roxy because I am tired and I need to have like an early night. And I think also I'm going to go for a period of reducing my caffeine a bit. Anyway, time to get home, get in the shower. I feel like I could do with washing my hair today, but I just cannot be bothered. Any other curly hair girlies, like it's just like the whole process of like washing my hair and having to diffuse it and all that kind of stuff. I just cannot be bothered. I'm moaning. Stop moaning, Maddie. That's a bad habit of mine I want to get out of. I really moan a lot. The hair did not get washed after all of that. I looked at the clock and I was like, absolutely not. Cannot be bothered with that. It's so sunny outside that I just really want to get the work that's important off the list. So I've got a video to edit, a vlog to edit, which shouldn't take too long, a couple concepts for brands to send, and some products to choose and just a little bit of website time, and then I want to go outside for this afternoon because it's sunny and I can just wrap up. It's cold but it's sunny. I just want to do some tidying. I'll see how the soil is, because the soil the other day was too compacted for me to do anything. I'll see how it is. It may not have dried out enough yet, but I can do a bit of that. But there's just like loads of like stuff everywhere that really bothers me, so I want to tidy it all in a pile, take that to the dump at some point and just do a bit of tidying. There's lots of like fences that we put up for Roxy, but she still figures out a way to get out when there's pheasants. She sneaks her way out, she sniffs it out, she digs holes, she literally chews the fence away and gets through. So we've taken to only letting her in the garden on a lead, just so that she understands her boundaries. And weirdly, she now is less reactive about the back door. I don't know if any of you have dogs like this that are very like eager to chase pheasants and things. But ever since we've been having her on the lead in the garden, she's just less like crazy about the back door. Usually in spring, summer, she doesn't have that insatiable desire to run away because there aren't pheasants. So we'll see how we go. Potentially figure out some kind of, I don't know, figure something out that's a bit more permanent, because we've put these like plastic fences up. I'm just using my hair oil that I use hundreds of times. I have a discount code with iHerb. If you use Madeleine, I'll link it below if you want to go get any hair products. I do have a page on there which basically shares all of my favourite things. If you saw my wavy hair routine that I uploaded on Shorts the other day, basically my page will have like all of the stuff that I use. But this is something I use every single week and I love it. It's really great for your hair health, your scalp health. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, there's all that plastic like fencing, but it looks really horrible. So I kind of want to get rid of it. Just start to implement more of a garden design. We want to get rid of the trellis, because when you look out in the garden, loads of you say like, oh, is that someone else's garden at the bottom? It's all our garden, but it's separated in half. And I feel like it's a shame. So I want to remove the trellis, move the roses back to the front of the house. The only thing that might not survive is the clematis, because it's really built onto the trellis. So what we'll have to do is, probably quite soon actually, is cut it back, and then I'm going to try and replant it on the patio, the sleepers, because the plan for that is for it to be completely covered. I don't want it to be visible whatsoever. I want it to become like built into the garden, so we can put some wire, some garden wire across, plant the clematis, plant some climbing hydrangeas, plant some climbing roses, just like get it so it's just covered, and try and have a backdrop of evergreen plants and trees so that throughout winter it's also covered, because I just think it's an eyesore and it was never intended to be like visible. It was always intended that we would plant things so that it would just kind of disappear. Yeah, one of you made a really great suggestion, which is also something that we're going to do soon. I've got my little scalp massager in here. I also have this on iHerb, my little scalp massager. I have two of them. It will stimulate the growth of your hair. If you think about how if you're into your skincare and you use exfoliating products like AHAs or BHAs or physical exfoliators or retinols, you're regularly exfoliating your skin so that it can be bright and look fresh. I think if this is the same, you are really like itching the scalp and exfoliating the hair follicles. You will get a little bit of it's not dandruff, but you will get a few flecks throughout your hair, especially if you've got dark hair like me. That does show up a bit, but that's just like really cleaning the hair. If you think about it, I've put oil on my hair, I'm doing this, all the oil can really sink in, nourish my scalp, so when I come to wash it, yeah, it's really healthy. Anyway, I keep on interrupting myself chatting about my hair. Yeah, one of you suggested to put gravel in between the veg beds, which we are going to do because we have intended to do that in the past and we never got around to it. I'm going to look up how to best do that. I'm assuming you need to put some kind of membrane down first to stop the grass from growing through. So I'm wondering if you can just use cardboard or if you need to get something from the garden centre. I'm going to look it up. And I think it will make down there look really neat and tidy. Also, thank you for your thoughts on the shed. So we'll definitely get a shed for behind the office and then we'll get one at the bottom of the garden. We've for the longest time debated getting one at the front of the house. And I think that the reason we've been debating it so much and where to put it is because it's probably not the right thing to do. Because that space is nice. What I want to do for the front of the house is make it a blank canvas because we've got a huge garden. I really don't want to also have to faff with a front garden. I just want it to be a blank canvas. I want to paint the walls One day I'd love to build proper Cornish walls to replace them because I don't like the rendered walls out there. But I think we should just paint the walls, re-gravel and call it a day and just leave it, because it's such a faff. It's such a faff having to do the front garden as well. I'm getting excited about the garden. It's almost like a nice feeling to think excitedly about it. I was also having reflections the other day on like, I really am not going to try and go too overboard with the vegetable garden this year, because there are so many garden projects in my head and house projects. Things like, you know, sorting out our office, painting it, sorting out the front of the house. I don't think I also need the distraction of really overdoing it with the vegetable beds, because I've done that in the past and then given up entirely. And this is an important lesson for me in my personal life as well, like in my general kind of my general life, I don't have to do everything like in a full-on way. So I've got to have a balance, and I've got to figure out a routine with it where I'm doing the garden projects as well as the vegetable garden, so it's all manageable. Oh, now my hair is slicked to the high heavens. Sorry, I'm just going to chat whilst I do my hair and makeup. This is my SPF of choice, my Beauty of Joseon SPF 50. Yeah, it's going to be a year that I definitely just try and focus on the projects that we can do and taking it bit by bit, because we've spent a lot of money and a lot of time and had a lot of builders and a lot of letdowns in our house situation. We just don't want to do that. That's not what I'm craving right now. We're just going to do bit by bit, focus on the garden, focus on the projects that we can work on. The bathroom is the next most important thing, which again, I don't see us doing. I don't know, I would love to not have a bath in the background of my content. I'd love to do this dressing room. There's so many things I would love to do. This dressing room, actually, I truly think me and Alex could do ourselves, kind of like we did our bedroom. This is the Lisa Eldridge foundation, by the way. I actually don't know why I'm putting foundation on. Oh well, I'm here now. I was just doing it automatically. But this room, we've got an IKEA wardrobe. I'm just chatting to you about like literally everything. Got an IKEA wardrobe in here, and there are so many DIY videos where you can build in your IKEA wardrobe, like box it in. So right now it's not boxed in, it's just kind of sitting there. So I would love to do a project where we box it in and also change out some of the shelvings inside and work with what we've got. And I reckon if we boxed it in and changed, I think you could put some paneling on the front. I don't know if you can paint this though. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. If you painted it, panelled it, built it in, painted the whole room, you could, I feel like we could save thousands on buying, you know, when people get those built-in wardrobes that are very glamorous. They're very glamorous, but they're very expensive. And it's also, I just don't know why we would need that. I like my clothes, but I don't see it as a necessity. You could paint it or wallpaper it. I mean, I would love to wallpaper it in here because I feel like we wallpapered in our bedroom and it went so well. And I would love to film my videos with a gorgeous wallpaper backdrop. Like imagine my videos in here when this was a proper dressing room and we had gorgeous floral wallpaper or natural botanical wallpaper. I'm thinking Sanderson again, because we've got Sanderson in our bedroom. And then I think we'll have a spare bed in here, but maybe a bed that could pull out, maybe like a, yeah, that kind of thing. You know, pictures on the walls, and I could have a nice backdrop when I'm getting ready with you and when I'm showing, like I can show my outfits with you more. I just think that would be wonderful. Anyway, I've probably told you my whole life story when it comes to home renovations, but that's okay. This year, essentially what I'm saying is the focus is doing stuff ourselves. I want to learn new crafts, learn new skills myself, and do things on a budget. And I just think I fell into this trap of like, oh, if you spend money on a carpenter or you spend money on these things and it will be done really, really well. And I just haven't had that experience. We spent £5,000 on, I'm being totally honest now, we spent £5,000 on the door that goes into our garage. It is a wood French door, which is obviously very expensive to get it made out of wood rather than plastic. And the handle, and they basically fitted it with non-galvanized metal. So we had to get them to come back to change the screws, because within like 2 weeks, all the screws had rotted or rusted. And we were like, what the hell? They also fitted the door with an indoor handle, because that also started to rot. So we bought a new handle, and they were really grumpy about that. And they were really like rude to me. I think I've discussed this before. They were just really, really angry about the idea that we got them back to fix the things that weren't right. And if there's one thing I would recommend when it comes to any sort of renovations, never pay anyone before the job is 100% finished, because we had already paid them. And I think part of the reason they were grumpy was because we paid them and it took so long to get them to come back. And they were like, I think they have this mindset of, well, you paid us, so what's the issue? I'm never ever paying a tradesman ever again until a job is 100% finished. Yeah, they came back, they refitted the new door handle, but they were very upset about it. They didn't fit it properly. And they didn't even change the inside section. So now the door is really difficult to open because the inside mechanism of the door handle has all rusted. And we've only had it there for like a year or two, maybe only a year. And it's just really disappointing. You think, oh, I'm going to spend the money, I'm going to, you know, do it properly because I want to restore this home to a high standard. I don't want to botch anything. You get local carpenters who are skilled in their craft, and they are skilled in their craft. The door is beautiful. But when people don't have that respect, or I guess the finishing touches weren't done by the carpenters, they were done by somebody else, it is very frustrating. You know, I don't know what's going on in people's lives. That person could have been having a bad day. It could have been a stressful time for their business. And I'm sure that's all it is. It's not that deep. But it is very frustrating when you spend so much money. And I've just been very disheartened and very like disillusioned by my experiences with spending money on things when it comes to the house. So I'm going to this era of like, I'd rather just do it myself unless I'm not able to, and go from there. And if I do hire a tradesman, do my research and only pay them when they've done the whole job. And I know lots of you probably would say get them back, but I'm also in this mindset, I just don't want confrontation in my life. I just can't be bothered with it. So I'm not gonna get them to come back. We need to fix our office door, which will be an expense. So when we find a carpenter through the builder who did the work for us recently, he's great. We really like him. When we find that carpenter, we will speak to that carpenter about the door and about our office door. And even also maybe a locksmith, and see if he knows a carpenter, because we need to change our locks and our door handles. And get it sorted that way, so that I feel confident in having someone who is like respectful and kind and nice, because the builder we've worked with recently, the tradesmen that he has are all very nice. So I would rather do it that way and have like a, yeah, fix all the doors, do all the door handles all at the same time. Because also in our home, there's loads of doors that are like not working properly. So I'd rather get the carpenter round and just do all of it. Basically fix all those sorts of things, those niggling bits. But I'm going to finish up my makeup because I've talked for 21 minutes. This video is going to be an hour long, and get glamorous for God knows what reason. I just felt like it today, I guess. I've even been showing my products. So I've used the Olivia concealer. This is my Typology tinted balm. I literally swear by these. Lots of people sometimes ask me what's on my lips. It's always these. I have the little jar ones and also the little tubes. The Charlotte Tilbury Micro Precision Tinted Brow Gel. This is running low. And now I'm going to use my Amy tubing mascara. All these products as well, they're all like vegan, cruelty free, and I really try and use products that are skincare focused and that don't use like toxic ingredients. I know clean beauty is a term lots of people hate, but to be honest with you, I think a lot of us also just like the idea of using clean beauty. So lots of the brands I use, like Amy, like Typology, like Olivia, they have really lovely ingredients that are more natural, and their ethos as a brand is much more about like sustainability, natural products, and I find that then when you're putting them on, they look more natural. So it's like a win-win. Look how gorgeous that mascara is. Love it. My RMS Beauty Lip to Cheek blusher. And then my RMS Living Luminizer. I'm really enjoying at the minute not using any bronzer or contour. I feel like it just looks quite fresh. Need a bit more concealer. No, I'm not going to use more concealer. And also not using powder because I feel like it gives a glow. So there's my look for today. Gone for a very simple outfit. Got my Lucy and Yak cords on. I want to get these in, I want to get some more Lucy and Yak trousers in different colours because they're so comfortable. The only issue with these is they're a little bit short. So I think, I've said this before, that I think they do some trousers that have like the leg length. So I'll have a little look. And then this is my just black, easy top from, oh my gosh, camera has turned the music on. And then I just got this easy black top from, I think it's Nobody's Child. I really need to get a new cardigan. I want a nice big one. In fact, maybe I should do a project with you. So this is from Simple Folk, but as you can see, it got in the washing machine. Alex basically washed all of my delicates and he put it in with my Naked Generation dress, which is dyed naturally. And so all the dye, you're not actually supposed to wash them, you're supposed to hand wash them, but all the dye came off on this cardigan. I love this cardigan. I mean, I love the way it looks, but obviously it's all got this horrible marks all over it, so it looks like it's dirty. Maybe that's something I should try and do, is actually dye this black. Or maybe brown. I'm trying to think, what colour? Let me know in the comments what colour you think I should dye this. Should I go for black, because that black does suit me? Or should I go for like brown, so it goes with more things, or grey? This cardigan I've had for years. It's from a charity shop. It's polyester, it's not a nice, lovely cotton. Cute. And then a spritz of my Floral Street Wild Vanilla Orchid. Just come in the office and realised that the postman has left packages in here. This is from Lucy and Yak. Speak of the devil. I was literally just thinking, oh my god, I'm so excited. I need to try these on with you. I'll try them on and insert clips of them on. But oh look, 100% compostable, biodegradable plastic bags. I completely forgot, I was literally just saying how I need more trousers from them. They quite literally sent me them. So these are their Alexa Organic Cotton trousers in black. I actually used to have these. These were my favourite trousers, and God knows why. I think at our previous house, I decided that it was a good idea to wear them whilst painting. And then they got paint on them, and then they became my painting trousers. I think it potentially was because I didn't have any comfortable outfits to paint in. So I was like, oh, I'm painting all the time. I may as well wear these, and I'm filming it and I look gross. But I really regret it because they were my favourite trousers. And the reason being is because they have this lovely stretchy waistband that's not thin. So it's really thick. And they're very much like yoga pants, like this sort of material. So when you put them on, they're so comfortable. It's not like an elasticated waistband that digs in because it's so thin. It's like it's not even elasticated, it's just sewn in that way so that it's really stretchy. And then they go out and they're sort of more loose fitting. And they're really nice and long, because I'm pretty sure these are the ones that do regular long and short and whatever. So very excited for these. They're so like multi-purpose, and if I get on with these and I love them again, I might get them in different colours too. Hopefully they do like a light colour, that would be really great. Okay, here are the trousers. Ignore my hair, it's a bit wet. Here are the Lucy and Yak trousers, which actually are a really good length. So these are, I think, medium regular, and I thought that they would be too short, but they're really not. They are long enough, they've got lovely pockets. And what I like about them is they kind of can look smart, but they are so comfortable because they're really loose fitting. And they've got this massive elasticated waistband. And what's quite nice as well with the length is that you can do a little scrunch up in the summer, and then they look really cute with sandals. Unfortunately, the jeans don't fit me, so I'm not going to show you those. I need to get a different size so I can email them and get a different size. And then the wild card is their jeans. I have been after a pair of classic jeans for so long, and I've always struggled with buying them because of my body shape, because I'm tall, I don't have a waist, but I've got a bum, but I've got thighs. Lucy and Yak have this pair, which is the classic denim colour, which is exactly what I wanted. This, oh my God, I can already tell. These are like, I really hope they fit me because they're stretchy denim. What size did I go for? Oh, I didn't go for long. That's interesting. Why didn't I go for long? Maybe they didn't have it. They're also made with organic GOTS certified cotton, which if you saw my sponsorship with GOTS, it's a really important thing to look out for. Loads of Lucy and Yak clothes are GOTS certified. If you're trying to find sustainable clothes, see if they've got GOTS certification for their cotton. It's a really good label just to see if you're in the shop, if you see this label. It's come from organic certified farms, and it's going to be so much more sustainable. It's just like another little certification, kind of like the Leaping Bunny certification or the cruelty-free vegan society ones. Like, it just gives you that reassurance. I'm really excited for these. I also really want the Lucy and Yak flared jeans. I just hope these fit. Aren't they gorgeous? The colour of them. They also look quite long. I reckon they just didn't have long, and they gifted these products to me kindly. And I think I was like, they don't have the long length. So we'll see. If they're too short and that's gonna annoy me. And they also look like they're gonna fit. Love that. And yeah, if you haven't heard of Lucy and Yak, my entire wardrobe is filled with them. Woohoo, the video is exporting. It is 12:30, so that was a very productive few hours. I've put some things on the drive as well. There's a couple more things that I feel like I wanted to do on my computer, and the weather is like turning. It's like going cold. Because I'm trying to stick to this routine of going in the garden every day. I'm gonna like choose a podcast that's half an hour or 45 minutes. That's all the time I need to do, because I'm an all or nothing person, and I think that it has to be like that. I go out in the garden for hours. I don't. I just need to spend 45 minutes and that's enough. But I'm gonna have some lunch. I kind of want some tofu. I want some protein because I've been like, I feel like because I'm tired, I need some protein to recover better. Decided I don't fancy soup, so I'm gonna fry up this tempeh that I bought the other day and have that with brown rice, because I made way too much brown rice yesterday. Some salad, and I'm gonna shred some cabbage with, this hasn't gone off by now because it's open, some cabbage with some coconut yogurt. It's like a nice quick coleslaw, lemon, what other things have I got, and kimchi, cabbage on cabbage, hey? I've rediscovered Imogen Heap again after listening to Caroline Polachek. Her new album is fantastic, and I watched her Tiny Desk concert the other day and I was just floored by it. But she has so many similarities to Imogen Heap. She's obviously heavily inspired by her, and her album Speak For Yourself was just my favourite thing when I was a teenager. And I was listening to it in the last vlog and I was just editing that, and I was like, I need to listen to that again because it's so good. Let me know in the comments if you were or are an Imogen Heap fan. There you go, that's how rapidly you can make delicious tempeh. So sear the tempeh off first. You can do this with tofu. Tempeh is quicker because it's not very liquidy, because it's so much more pressed, because it's fermented soybeans. It actually cooks way quicker. So I just sear it off, make it golden brown, and then I've seasoned it with soy sauce, sriracha, maple syrup, and a bit of vinegar. So you want that saltiness, sweetness, spiciness, and then tossed in some sesame seeds, and you've got yourself some really delicious, like, sticky tempeh. And then this slaw was so easy. It's literally just shredded cabbage, coconut yogurt, apple cider vinegar, and I put a little bit of mint in there, salt and pepper and lemon juice, and this is going to be delicious. It'll taste even better the next day as well because it will soften the red cabbage. A lot of the time when it comes to food like this, it's just having the kind of ingredients prepped. I find it something I keep on forgetting to do, but it's so good, is to have things like rice like ready, and then things like this, if you make them, make a bit more, make double. There is a fine line. You can go overboard and then you have too much and you throw it away. But if you make double, then you have enough for like the next day, or if you make triple, you know you love it. I'm gonna have all of this tempeh because I really need the protein. And then some kimchi. It's cabbage on cabbage today. And there is my very colourful, kind of like a poke bowl, nourish bowl. Oh, there's the front door. What's this, Bobby? Riverford! Navajo! If anyone could name the movie, I'll be very impressed. Ugh. Riverford Hall. I had to eat my lunch first because I was hungry and Alex is cooking, so I'll do it here. He's making spaghetti meatballs. We've got lemons and limes. Whoopsie! Riverford do a cool thing where you can have like a recurring shopping list, so you don't have to worry about doing it every time, which I feel like other shops should do. It's so helpful. And I always get, well, either every 2 weeks or every week, lemons, limes, garlic. So I've got a recurring order for tofu every week. This brand is Dragonfly. And then we've got their hummus. Their hummus is very delicious. They also do a smoked hummus, which is nice. So Alex wanted some of that this week. I think you're going to try and figure out making pizza bread, aren't you?
Yes.
And then we've got a salad. Which one's the salad bag? Oh, here. Salad bag. Fresh from the farm, so wash before eating, store in the fridge and eat salad leaves as fresh as possible. So one thing I will say about Riverford is if you're going to do it, then you have to eat the food quickly. You can't, I feel like it's one of those things you can't leave the food till the end of the week. So you may have seen in my last vlog, the broccoli went mouldy. So things that don't go mouldy, eat them later in the week. Things that will, eat them straight away. So this salad, I'm going to try and make up today or tomorrow, like a salad, so that I can have that as meal prep during the week. So we've got a nice massive lettuce, so I'm going to shred that all up. And then we've got 2 peppers. Do you want a pepper in your... we've got 2 delicious red peppers, so I can slice one of those up. Alex will use the one with some pitas and hummus. And we've got lovely cherry tomatoes. Love these because they're nice for snacking. Tomatoes seem to last longer. And then avocados. These will be ripen at home avocados. So I'll try and plan it so that food doesn't go off. And then we've got a medium vegetable box which has some pea shoots. These are like pea shoots to me. We've got broccoli, so I'll make sure to eat this first. So we've got leftovers tonight, but tomorrow I'll make something with the broccoli. We've got another bok choy, I think. So we get an email saying a summary of today's delivery. It says it's Swiss chard. This is surely not Swiss chard. No. So apparently this is Swiss chard, but it doesn't look like Swiss chard to me. Because Swiss chard usually is the colourful one, or maybe it's just a different variety. And that was lamb's lettuce. So this is Swiss chard, but it's just a different kind. Which is why I like Riverford, because you learn about different vegetables and what's in season. And then we've got more tomatoes, funnily enough. Didn't realise that, but Alex loves tomatoes, so it's not going to be a problem. Spring onion. I'm thinking that this is looking like we could do another stir fry or curry. Mushrooms. I also always have shiitake mushrooms because they're so good. Alex always makes bread and I pretty much always have mushrooms on toast. And these do last quite well. I find the mushrooms don't really go mouldy, but the key is when you get mushrooms, never leave the plastic on, because that will be what will make them go a bit wet. So that's a delicious mushroom on toast. Courgettes, they don't go off quickly. They're always good. So we've got 3 courgettes, which could be good for a risotto maybe. And then you pretty much always get potatoes with Riverford, all are potatoes. A creamy skinned yellow fleshed variety that roasts up nicely. Ooh, I feel like I should start doing something more exciting with potatoes. Maybe I could do like roast potatoes with some courgette and something else. Maybe I could make some homemade burgers or something. They also do have a pantry section. So I don't remember adding this. Did you add this? Did you add passata?
No.
Am I going mad? They've given me the wrong thing.
Uh-oh.
They've given me passata instead of chickpeas. Yeah, they've given me passata instead of chickpeas. That must be a packaging mistake.
Right.
I'll just email them. I mean, I'll eat it, but it doesn't really matter. But I will ask them because this is probably cheaper than the chickpeas. And then coriander. So that's my Riverford haul. I'm going to put everything away. And I'll show you what I make with it this week, because I haven't done like a meal plan because I was just having a bad week, or weekend, so I was just like, let's just order Riverford and I'll just make whatever with it, be inspired by the food, which is quite nice sometimes. So I'll put that away, and then I'm going to get wrapped up and go in the garden and just put on a podcast and spend about 45 minutes outside. Oh my gosh, I'm so warm. Such a workout. So I feel like I'm clammy. Oh, Bobby, she does this every time. So I've done a massive clear out. I was doing that for about 45 minutes, like I said. Listening to a really great podcast. I'll show you which one. It's the Working Hard, Hardly Working, episode 76. Why you're struggling with motivation and how to fix it, with John Amici, OBE. So he's like a British guy who was in the MBE, was a basketball player, and he now I think is a psychologist, and it's just really interesting so far. I'm loving it. He's just talking about like motivation and manifestation and how he doesn't necessarily get on board with that. But yeah, now I'm listening to it, I'm like, I think he has a book, and I think I need to listen to his book because it's very interesting. I'm gonna sit down and have a glass of water and just do a bit more work because I've got that done, because it's 3 o'clock. We're going out at 4ish. We're going to the cinema this evening. We're going to see Poor Things. I'm excited for that, but we're going out for an appointment at 4, and then yeah, I'm going to just do my video, my thumbnail, and a few other things on my list, maybe a couple emails. And Bobby, you'll come with me into the office, won't you? You'll come with me? Good girl. Good morning. We're in the garage, and I'm going to use the Peloton. Oh, good. For a second it said downloading update, and I was about to say to you, it's so typical that you get the motivation to go and exercise, and then it's going to download an update that's going to take forever, but it's not. It's working. I don't have a subscription with Peloton at the minute, because when you get a Peloton, you have to get the membership, which is like £14 a month, maybe. And I've got a gym membership, and I haven't been using the Peloton. So it's something that is actually like, I feel like I've let myself down by not using the Peloton, but the reality is that's life, and I'm going to start using it because I've got back into a really great routine with strength training with the Copilot app, and now I'm going to also try and use the Peloton once a week. We're going forwards with the kind of like slow habits, no extremes. Like previously I would have been like, I'm going to use the Peloton, you know, alongside the gym every other day, or like when I'm going to the gym, I'll come home and use no. Why was I like that? I don't know. That's my brain finding everything a bit intense. So I'm going to use the Peloton on a Wednesday, and if I don't want to, I don't have to either. I can do some yoga, or I can just do some stretching. Activate your bike. Right, let me just set this up. I was going to say good morning, but I've already said good morning to you. Done my hair today. I always feel like it's very awkward on new hair day because fellow wavy curly hair girls know what this is. This is not This is like 90% dry, but I do not have the patience to sit there and make my hair completely bone dry with a diffuser. So what I always do is I dry at 90%. And this is the key, if you want less frizz for your curly or wavy hair, do your gel or mousse or whatever, your styling products, dry it with a diffuser, but don't touch it, because I know that previously I would have, like right now, I would have like zhuzhed it and touched it, and then that makes it frizzy. Wait till your hair is like 100% bone dry, and you can always tell if you sort of like, I can feel that it's still quite wet. Also, I have the annoying hair type that takes a million years to dry, because I have low porosity, is that what it's called? I don't know. So I'm gonna do some work, loving my routine of doing work in the morning, loved the Peloton, I took it really easy, and that's a thing I would recommend if you're starting new routines, is really, please, I promise you, do not go into a new routine doing it to the nth degree and doing it to the extreme, because you will end up giving it up. Do it in a really, really like slower, calmer, less intense version of what you would ever expect. So if you're new to the gym, new to any form of exercise, meditating, journaling, eating healthy, whatever it is that you're trying to add to your life, reading, do it in a really, really small way. Even if you're trying to go vegan, do it in a small way, because it's way more likely that you'll sustain it. If you go into exercise saying, I'm gonna do 5 days a week of really intense HIIT training, you're gonna give it up, because your body is gonna say, I don't like that, why would I wanna do that? So I just watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which is crazy, if you've ever seen that show. Just did 20 minutes really easy. I just did intervals of 1 minute, sort of a bit more intense, stood up on the bike, 1 minute, sitting down, a bit more low key, and that's it. Because I know if I do that, that's so enjoyable, and I'm more likely to do it again next week. And then my fitness will probably improve, and I'll probably just naturally, your body will want to do more. So the same goes for things like reading. Like if you set yourself, I mean, I set myself a goal last year to read a book every week. It was just too much. I don't know why I thought I would go from reading 10 books in 1 year to reading that many. Like, it's just extreme. So this year instead, I'm reading a book a month, and that's realistic because I've actually stuck to it. I've nearly finished Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and it's nearly the end of February. And in January, I read the 4,000 Weeks. So yeah, it's going well. So that's my recommendation for any routine. Do it really small first, because you're way more likely for it to be sustainable. Anyway, I'm gonna have a protein shake, and then I'm gonna get in the office and do some work. I've got a little bit of editing and some website stuff. The website is taking priority. We're getting there. I'm so happy because we've just ticked off a massive, what's the word? We've just basically finished going through milestone. We've just finished going through like every recipe on the website to make sure everything's functioning fine, and now we can go back to our website designers and move forwards thinking about like a launch plan and focusing on the new recipes that will be there. So next time you hear from me probably will be when I'm announcing when the launch of the new website is. For a very long time you couldn't really search stuff on my website easily, and things weren't labelled or categorised very well. So now everything will be categorised properly: gluten-free, soy-free, no sugar, vegan, all that kind of stuff. And all the categories will be way better. You can have a printable recipe. It's just going to be so much better functioning. And I will regularly be posting on there too. So we'll have our newsletter, all of it up and running. So it's very positive, so productive this week. My routines are working. Hair is looking great. I really feel like there's no frizz because I was so good at not touching my hair when I was blow drying it and letting it dry fully. I'm gonna have lunch because it's 1:30 and I'm starving. So spring is coming, it's around the corner. 21st of March is officially the first day of spring, I'm pretty sure. So I really want to start with spring cleaning some of the rooms. This utility room, the amount of times I've decluttered this on this channel, this is a room that just becomes such a dumping ground for mess. We have all of our sofa cushions in here because we don't have a shed. And then when we get a shed, we can actually move some of this stuff out. But what I'm gonna do, because we don't really use the garage very often, it's kind of a space just to go in to relax. I'm gonna move a lot of these sofa cushions in there, and then some of the sort of shed stuff, I'm just gonna move it out of here because this is a space that I use a lot, and I'm gonna move it into a space that I'm not using as frequently. So maybe some of it could go upstairs or in the downstairs cupboard. There's just like other places it could be, because this is going to be where I'm going to grow lots of my seedlings, and it's coming to the time that we want to do that. So I know loads of people have been planting their sweet peas and other things, so I want to start getting to it and not have that as a barrier. Also, like, the way the cupboards are always filling up with crap really winds me up, so it won't take that long, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we've wiped away some of the damp, we have cleaned up some of the window, and I do need to get like a kind of waterproof thing to go underneath here so that if I'm watering it doesn't drip everywhere, but I know that that's somewhere. But this means I can set up my trays with whatever I want to grow, and I'm really not going to go overboard this year. Like I said, I think I'm just going to stick to whatever fills these for seedlings, and then everything else I'm going to plant straight out, and I'm going to do lots of flowers. Just go to the garden centre and just like each month just be like, oh, what can I plant, and just leave it at that and not make it a big thing, because March I can fill these up and then move them out and then, you know, carry on that way, so that it's not taking over the house, it's not becoming overwhelming. And if the veg beds aren't full, they're not full. I can get lots of nice like lettuce and things that are already grown from the garden centre too, to fill some of the veg beds up. But I did find last year they just filled up quite quickly. That's wonderful, so we're happy about that. This is going to be something that we really need to do. I had this thought the other day actually, I was thinking about, I was like, people who portray a very perfect version of their homes on the internet always have things organised, always have immaculate homes, never have anything in the background. I was thinking about how, I need to make a TikTok video on this, but I was thinking about how that is the ultimate, for me anyway, I think that that is one of the most ultimate displays of consumerism and wastefulness, because living in a household where we are really conscious about recycling, about waste, about not throwing things away, about using things to their utmost, our house always has stuff in it. Like, you probably notice compared, I don't know, maybe if you haven't, maybe you think my house is perfect, it really isn't. But maybe you notice in the background of my videos, there's often lots of stuff, or rubbish, or recycling, or things to be put away. And that's because we're very mindful about where we get rid of stuff. So for example, this whole utility room, this whole shower is recycling. So, oh, I should open this window a bit more because it smells of the cleaning out product I just used. So we've got the Riverford boxes that we actually forgot to put out the other day. We've got all of our Tetra Packs. We've got loads of like bags, plastic bags that you can recycle at the supermarket that you can't put in your general recycling. There's wool stuff that often packaging comes in, you know, like iced things often come in these like wool packages, but I'm going to keep those for the veg beds, because I know that you can put them on them to protect plants over the winter. And there's just various things that you can take to the recycling centres, things like cables or mechanics, you know, like electrical things. Those things just never get, we don't just like throw them in the bin. And I was thinking this the other day, I was thinking the only reason that someone I was watching on TikTok, I was like, the reason your house is so perfect is because 100%, if anything, at the end of the day, you don't want it, you're just chucking that in the bin, and you're not thinking about where that's getting recycled. Because I don't know, I don't get, basically the long and short of what I'm trying to say is, don't get fooled by homes or people on the internet that share perfect versions of their life or perfect homes, because the reality is, if they're living that way, they probably have loads of money, they're probably excessively wasteful, and they probably are excessively consumerist about their shopping habits. They're probably constantly buying things and constantly throwing things away without a care for where it's going. It's not an aspirational thing to look towards. Now we need to do this space. There's lots of like painting things. I just want nothing on the surfaces, because then I know where I am. For a while I tried to like decorate in here, like put nice things on the side, but it just creates I thought there was a spider on my leg. It just creates mess, whereas if I know what's there, it means that if there's anything on the surface, it needs to be tidied. So it's clear and empty. I want literally nothing but a bar of soap. So that's what we're gonna do. Another thing I do as well when I'm decluttering, if you don't already do this and you find you get overwhelmed, is I just get rid of everything out of the room that doesn't belong in here and put it in a space that I can then deal with it afterwards. So rather than trying to organise it as I go, which can become so lengthy and tiring, I'm just taking anything that doesn't belong in here, I'm just putting it in the hallway, and then I can do the hallway because I can go and then gather everything and put it in its right place. I always do this if I'm tidying up a bedroom. I chuck everything in the hallway and then I clear the hallway because it's just all there. If you're going back and forth loads, it takes so much longer. So it's very motivational then as well, because you get it done quickly because you're like, oh look. We have a beautiful sink, look at that, nothing there. That's how I want it to stay. And then this is gonna go in here. I just wanna quickly whiz through this and organise it. That was so productive. I really recommend doing the method of just chucking everything in a separate space, because now this room is clean, I feel so motivated. It really gives you that boost of like, yes, I've done it. And I know the hallway is a mess, but it won't take very long because it's all in one spot. And I know what can be recycled, what needs to go in a different space, and I can just organise it really quickly listening to a podcast. So amazing, amazing progress. So now we have nothing. We've never had it like this. We always have something on the side because this room is not decorated yet, so it just isn't the most glamorous space. But over the time I've been in this house, I've realised actually that's fine. It's quite nice to have a space that is a bit of a mess. I'm gonna now sort out the hallway. Well, I'm gonna have a cup of tea and then I'm gonna sort out the hallway. One quick thing, I just put these Purdy and Fig cleaners into these like spray bottles. I've just literally just rubbed that label off. I need to go find the label maker, but I tried writing on it in Sharpie, just temporarily. It's come off, but I know what it is. I'll find the label maker. This smells amazing. I absolutely love it. The size of this is amazing, because obviously if you're buying things in glass, then that will have to be transported and it's likely to break, and also it's going to be potentially wasteful in that sense if it breaks a lot. So the fact that they're in these tiny, tiny little packages, when they're delivered, it's only a small package coming to you, is amazing, and they smell so good and they're all natural. So simply pour the cleaning concentrate into your bottle for life and fill with tap water made in the UK. And yeah, it's just a nice company. So definitely recommend, give them a go if you want to get a new sort of natural, sustainable cleaning product. Alex is going to come home and be like, what have you done? It's all very superficial though, I promise you. It's dinner. I'm going to do the rest of the hallway after dinner because Alex is going to the cinema with my dad to see Oppenheimer. So I've got orzo that needs using up. The broccoli I'm going to use first because obviously it went mouldy last week. And then we've got courgettes. So what I'm going to do, I'll just do all the courgettes because if we don't eat them all with this meal, then I have roasted courgette as a meal prep. I'm going to do roasted courgette and broccoli, orzo, and I've got this Oatly creme fraiche. Let's grab this one out here. These are really, really delicious. And just toss it all through with some lemon. Really simple.